Hello, Jasper Belding here, Technical Sales Rep at Waterloo Biofilter Systems. Today we'll be talking about building an anaerobic digester tank. A little background on the digester tank. It's designed similar to a septic tank to settle out solids and allow them to break down and ferment. A septic tank uses a partition wall to keep solids in the first compartment while allowing the liquids to move through the tank. An anaerobic digester uses an inner tube to collect the solids and still allow liquids to move through the tank. The inner tube is made of 12-inch or 15-inch HDPE corrugated pipe. The anaerobic digester reduces the amount of solids that pass through the tank by up to 30%. It reduces scum in the tank and can reduce the amount of sludge production by up to 50%, which allows for fewer pump outs. To start building your anaerobic digester, you'll start with installing your bracket. The bracket holds the inner tube in place on the digester wall. First, ensure that you have all the parts in your kit. You will need one digester bracket, two 3/8 inch by 3 inch stainless steel wedge anchors, two stainless steel wedge anchor washers, two stainless steel wedge anchor hex nuts, two 5/16 by 3.5 inch stainless steel carriage bolts, four 3/8 inch stainless steel bolt washers, two 5/16 stainless steel lock washers, two 5/16 stainless steel hex nuts, and a 4-inch 45-degree PVC elbow. The bracket is installed on the inlet end of the concrete tank. It will be installed 4 inches below the 4-inch invert of the inlet. Mark the appropriate measurements and using a hammer drill bore two 3/8 inch holes to a depth of 2 inches. After your holes are bored, install your two wedge anchors and hammer them in all the way. Be careful not to overhammer them or bend the wedge anchors. Slide the digester bracket firmly against the back wall of the tank and secure the bracket using the corresponding washers and hex nuts. Position the inner tube pipe in the bracket. It is very important to ensure that the top end of the inner tube finishes 2 inches above the 4-inch inlet invert, while maintaining a minimum 4-inch clearance from the top of the inner tube to the underside of the tank lid. This is to maintain an air gap. To ensure proper height location, make a 5-inch wide by 2.5-inch deep U-shaped cut out of the upper end of the inner tube. After the inner tube is placed inside the back half of the bracket, the front half of the bracket can be positioned along the same rib. Using the carriage bolts, washers, and nuts, attach the bracket halves together and lock the inner tube in place. We've had a small percentage of inner tubes in the digester tanks that are floating. We're asking all our precasters and installers to make sure there are holes drilled on the outlet side in the inner tube. The outlet of the inner tube pipe must be positioned opposite the digester outlet or internal pump chamber section. Ensure that the remaining inner tube runs the length of the bottom of the tank, makes a turn at the outlet end, and finishes back at the inlet end. It is very important to make sure that the end of the inner tube is not forced up flat against the interior wall of the tank, as this will impede any flow through the inner tube, possibly causing a backup of effluent into the 4-inch inlet sewer pipe. Prime and glue your 45-degree PVC elbow into the 4-inch inlet sewer pipe. Make sure the elbow is positioned in a downward fashion. Ensure that the 4-inch inlet pipe and 45-degree elbow entering the anaerobic digester extends fully into the inner tube by 3 to 5 inches. Do not extend the inlet pipe any further, as this may result in difficulty pumping the digester down the road. The outlet in the anaerobic digester must be equipped with a standard YT baffle. An effluent filter is not required, however, can be added if desired. Ensure that the bottom of the baffle extends to approximately the mid-depth of the tank to draw liquid from the clear zone of the digester. Thank you for watching my video today. Contact us at Waterloo Biofilter Systems if you have any questions.